The email appeared in Darius Bell's inbox late on a Wednesday afternoon. A formal no-frills request from the producers of The Morning Exchange, one of the highest-rated talk shows in the country. They wanted him, a self-made black tech entrepreneur with a brand-new multi-million-dollar defense contract, to discuss diversity in business on their upcoming segment. For Darius, it had the ring of a familiar script. Mainstream media platform invites the rags-to-riches black success story for a feel-good feature. Then they move on, comfortable with having showcased enough representation. But deep down, he sensed something else lurked behind the invitation. Was it a publicity stunt or a pitfall? His assistant Tasha could tell he was torn. "Are you sure you want to do this?" she asked. They love a success story, but they love tearing one down even more. Darius shrugged. "I can handle it. Besides, free exposure at a national level is no joke." But if The Morning Exchange's producers thought Darius was some naive show pony, they'd soon learn otherwise. The morning of the show, Darius arrived at KXNT Studios in Los Angeles. He checked in with the front desk, was whisked through a hallway of humming fluorescent lights, and ended up in a sterile green room. A young producer greeted him with a vague, "Thanks for coming," barely glancing up from her clipboard. He settled into a makeup chair, scanning a nearby monitor broadcasting the live show's current segment. Coming up next, the black tech boom, talent or special treatment, scrolled across the screen. Darius felt his jaw clench. So that was the angle. Discredit his success by calling it a diversity handout. Well, they'd messed with the wrong chess player. The set of The Morning Exchange was all cozy blues and golds, designed for maximum comfort. Cameras hovered overhead, focusing in on the center stage. Madeline Royce, the show's lead anchor with decades of broadcasting under her belt, gave him a practiced smile. He recognized it for what it was, polite but distant. "Good morning, America," she began. "We're here with Darius Bell, founder and CEO of Innovis, a groundbreaking tech firm that just secured a major government defense contract. Welcome, Darius. Quite an achievement." He returned a measured nod. "Thank you. Glad to be here." She dove in fast. Innovis has soared to success, beating out industry giants. Some call it the American dream. Others say it's an example of how federal diversity initiatives can tilt the playing field. What's your take? Darius kept his composure. "Well, it's interesting. When a black entrepreneur wins a contract, people suddenly assume it's because of quotas, not our performance. Meanwhile, any white-run company winning the same contract would just be good business." Madeline's smile stayed plastered on. "So, you believe race played no role at all in your victory?" He shrugged lightly. "I believe we built a superior product after 2 decades of sweat and hustle. If race played any role, it was as an obstacle, not a bonus." The tension mounted like a coiled spring. Off camera, the producers watched intently. Madeline shifted in her seat. "But surely these government diversity incentives help companies like yours. Are you saying you never benefited from any such programs?" Darius let out a quiet laugh. "Is that the narrative? That a successful black business must owe everything to special treatment? Because nobody questions the countless established corporations with centuries of generational wealth behind them." She nodded, half lowering her cue cards for effect. "Yet some critics say the emphasis on diversifying the tech sector is overshadowing genuine meritocracy. Like it or not, people are asking if Innovis got a push to meet a diversity goal." Darius's gaze didn't waver. "Let's talk about that genuine meritocracy you mentioned. Were Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos ever questioned about quotas when they secured huge NASA or government deals? Or do we only raise that question for CEOs who look like me?" A crisp hush fell across the set. Madeline's grin tightened. She pressed on, turning to camera. "Critics believe that in today's environment, a black success story garners more media hype, like we're seeing right now. Some wonder if that's overshadowing the achievements of thousands of white business owners who also worked hard." Darius inhaled, controlling the heat building inside him. "So, we either get too little coverage, or now it's too much coverage. The contradiction is wild. When 90% of Fortune 500 CEOs are white, somehow a single black entrepreneur on TV is too overexposed?" A flicker of tension crossed Madeline's eyes. She flipped to her next card, voice sharpening. "But Darius, you must realize a lot of Americans see your success and think, if the system were truly unfair, How'd he get so far? Maybe the real question is whether we're exaggerating the disadvantages faced by black entrepreneurs. He recognized that final jab. Exaggerating, indeed. He calmly leaned forward. It's easy to dismiss the problem if you've never faced it. People say, if one person escapes a burning building, guess it wasn't that bad a fire, right? That logic's flawed. She tried to maintain eye contact, but her confidence was clearly cracking. Offset, a producer looked anxious. This interview wasn't going smoothly, in the safe, controlled way they'd hoped. Madeline's next volley. Still, some feel the system can't be that biased if you've done so well. Isn't it possible your frustration is overshadowing the fact that you are a prime example of success? Darius gave a measured smile. Let's be real. We got here by outperforming bigger companies. You think I'd be sitting in this chair if Innovis wasn't top-notch? The bar is not in the same place for all of us. A mediocre white man can fail upward, but a brilliant black man gets questioned every step. That's the double standard we're talking about. At that, the staff off-camera froze, sensing the tension had peaked. Madeline parted her lips to respond, but Darius carried on, voice even more resolute. And no, that's not victimhood. That's acknowledging how society works. If it didn't, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Her face paled slightly. Well, the stage manager signaled. We need to take a break, Madeline announced. We'll be back with more after this. But the damage was done, or rather, the truth was unleashed. By the time they cut to commercial, Darius's final remarks had landed with a force that would ripple far beyond the studio. Within the hour, clips of the interview went viral across social media. Many praised Darius for speaking candidly about race and success. He just told the unfiltered truth on national TV. This is the conversation America needs. Others attacked him. Oh, so we're playing the race card again? Over it. He's just another activist CEO whining about inequality. Meanwhile, cable news networks debated the segment, with some calling it a crucial wake-up call, and others painting Darius as arrogant. Madeline Royce, for her part, performed major damage control. On her next show, she insisted she'd only asked the tough questions the audience wanted to hear, claiming to stand by her journalistic integrity. The official statement from the Morning Exchange praised open dialogue, but subtly implied Darius had turned the conversation combative. As the dust settled, Darius found himself at the center of a national debate about black entrepreneurship and who deserves success. Investors, ironically, flooded his inbox, wanting to partner with Innovis. On the flip side, a few corporate relationships soured, citing a difference in values. More worrisome, he received hate mail and even threats, a dark reality for outspoken black figures in the public eye. Tasha, scanning the avalanche of messages, asked with both concern and excitement, "So, where do we go from here?" Darius sighed, massaging his temples. "We keep building. If they want to drag me into the spotlight, I'll use it to highlight what actually matters, fixing the system, not ignoring it." He considered ignoring further media invites, but realized that would let the same old voices define the narrative. Instead, he accepted a prime-time request for a deeper discussion. "If we're going to talk about race in business, let's do it properly," he told Tasha, raising an eyebrow. "No spin, no ambush." And so, the story of Darius Bell would continue in the national sphere, not merely as a token success story, but as a relentless entrepreneur unafraid to confront the double standards and hidden biases that so many pretend aren't there. He'd braved a loaded interview and turned it into a turning point, forcing a wider conversation about real equality versus lip service. To some, he destroyed the TV host by not cowering to her angles, leaving her momentarily speechless. To others, he was a rabble-rouser who refused to stay in his lane. But for those paying attention, Darius Bell's sincerity and his willingness to shine a light on the unspoken barriers came as a breath of fresh air in a stale, superficial media landscape. In the end, America had many opinions, but it also had to listen, even if briefly, to an uncomfortable truth: that meritocracy remains incomplete when prejudice lurks. His next words, whether in a boardroom or another interview, would either cement him as a voice for change or make him a bigger target. But for Darius, the choice was clear. He'd keep building, keep speaking, and keep showing the world that talent plus determination isn't an accident of special treatment. It's the raw brilliance of someone who refused to bow to a system rigged to keep him out.